Hi, my name is Kari. Today's video is all about that someone told me that my favorite color to put on my face is not suitable for me. Yes, I am that salty, and that's the main point of today's video. So what is my favorite color to put on my face? Not just to put on my face, I need to emphasize that I want it to be in every single outfit. I want it to be in every single thing that I buy. I want it to be in my furniture, just like little objects in my life. I want everything to be in that color. And specifically, this is this kind of color of what I'm wearing right now. I prefer to call it a murky rose. So it's you can also call it a taupey mauve or like a brown pink. So it's a mixture between pink and purple, but it has a lot of brown. But then you bring it towards the more cool tone, more desaturated side a little bit. So you have this kind of like dusty, browny, rosy mauve color. It's kind of a complex color to describe, but yeah, if you see it, you might know it. And I mean, I'm obsessed with it. Like, I have a scrunchie. I'm not sure if you can see it. My scrunchie that I'm tying my hair with right now is this kind of color. I've just bought a new pair of glasses, so the frame is exactly that color. It's not as purple as I expect it to be, but like the translucency and kind of the color is just perfect. I love this frame so much. And yeah, and I want that color to be translated into my makeup. I want that cool tone pink purple vibe going on to my makeup look. If you have seen one of my videos, or like if you just like scroll to the thumbnails of my videos, you can see that I have worn that color so many times exclusively. That might be the color that I wore the most in 2023. So like just like simple, full matte, or maybe a little bit of shimmer of that specific color, and I love that so much. And as I'm applying the makeup look today, I'm gonna explain to you why I'm holding a grudge right now of someone telling me that that color doesn't look good on you. So we're gonna start with some blushes. So I'm basically doing a monochrome makeup look right now to dedicate the whole video to that color. Like, I basically don't need to explain more about that. I have the Juicy Pink blusher in the shade PE01. This is not specifically cool tone, but you can see like the kind of milky, kind of grayish undertone to it, and it's not specifically very pink, but I want to apply it to the area that I usually apply bronzer. So I think this is like bronzy but like pinky enough to bring out that effect. So I'm gonna use a couple drops of it. It's really cute. It has this kind of like brush tip, like a nail polish. And then I'm gonna mix it with like what I call a liquid blush highlighter. This is actually a eye color. It's called Maybelline Liquid Metallic Eye Color from the brand POPSUGAR. I got it in a boxy charm like a while ago, and I didn't like it as an eye color because it's too sheer, but with the consistency of a liquid like this, I like using it as a mixer, like a highlighting mixer with my blusher, and it works really, really beautifully for that purpose. And the color is actually really beautiful. It's like a very luminous, shimmering version of the color that I described that I like, but somehow it didn't work on my eyes. I really wish that it did, but it's okay. Now I find a purpose for it. I think it's quite useful in that way. So ignore my concealer spot. I already applied my concealer and powder. I'm gonna mix these two, and in a way you get that kind of color, the color I like, and it has shifted towards a bit of a bronzy, kind of browny color, a bit warm tone, so that I can use it as a bronzer situation today. I'm gonna use a sponge, even though I know it's not gonna be that intense, but I just want that kind of flush. So the story is, I went back to Vietnam, I think last week, and I had a layover at Sydney Airport. And you know, if you have ever gone to Sydney Airport, the international terminal, it has like a wonderful duty-free beauty section. I was so amazed. I was just wandering around that kind of complex of counters there, and I was so amazed. I was just having a good time. I was just watching some product, not necessarily intentionally to buy any product, but I just really love the vibe of walking and window shopping makeup. But then I stopped at a Gucci counter, you know, the Gucci beauty counter, and I was swatching some of the blushes, because if you remember, Gucci blushes have the best vintage packaging ever. It's like flowery, like a really nice, solid, a bit like gold detail, compact. So it's really, really stunning. And I was watching some of the pinkier, like I would always assume that pink and mauve looks really, really good on my skin, even though I have Asian skin tone. Not that it's gonna be offensive or like racist, but like I'm allowed to say that because I'm Asian, and I think the rest of the world would look at me and know that I'm very Asian, and I have this kind of like warm yellow undertone Asian skin tone. And it's true, but in a grand scheme of things, I would consider my skin tone to be more, yeah, probably like neutral, but more yellow than neutral. So I accept that fact, but I always want to bring more neutrality to my complexion. So that's why I use quite a bit of pink and purple in my makeup. So I was tempted to, you know, play with the pinkier shades across that range. And then the advisor, the beauty advisor there, she's also Asian, so I believe that she picked up that sense very quickly, and she recommended me more warmer tones within that blush range. And I feel like I believe it's gonna look very gorgeous, because I think she get used to the habit of her work to recommend people the blushes that she think would work for the majority of that demographic, if you know what I mean. Like if you see an Asian, so you would train to recommend them the shades of blush that works for the majority of Asian skin, regardless of their actual reference. And I don't say my reference is really right in terms of makeup lash color theory, but like I said, I'm acknowledge that I have warm undertone, a bit neutral undertone, but more warm than the actual neutral. But I want to bring more neutrality to my complexion, so that's why I lean more pink, I lean more neutral colors, I lean more technically like warm, cool tone colors. But she didn't see my reference, but like how could she? So I don't take on that. I don't hold a grudge on the fact that she's just doing her professional job. I don't judge her for doing what she was trained to do, what she has had the experience that is gonna work really, really well for people of my skin tone. But then when I told her that I might prefer something that's a bit more pink, mauve, a bit more cool tone, it's just more nuanced, and she immediately said that, oh, that's not gonna look good on you. You should stick with these warmer shade, which is like a peach, a very warm tone orangey peach, and a burnt orange. Yeah, and if you look at the Gucci blush range, you can actually see those shades, and yeah, they don't have any actual like cool tone, more nuanced, more desaturated, more brownie color, and that's okay. It's not available in this range. I just want to show her my temptation to wander around and see the wider range of options for me, for what I like. But the way that she said that, oh, that color, that pink mauve taupey color is not gonna look good on you, I'd be like, I feel offended. I don't feel offended very easily, but I don't know, in that moment I went a bit insane, like subconsciously I'd be like, excuse me, girl, like we are supposed to be supporting each other, like what are you doing? And I'd be like, yeah, thank you, I'm gonna have a look around, like, and I don't know why it has affected me so much for someone to say that, oh, you don't really look good on your favorite color, maybe you should not wear your favorite color. And I'd be like, no, it's not true, it's not true. Like, and in a broader way, when people do all of the color testing, like color finding, you know, that kind of experiment when they have laid out a lot of color, a lot of fabric, like gold tone, silver tones, like ghost rose tone on you, and they try to find out your color palette, like spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I'm afraid, like, if I could afford it, like I was so afraid that they would tell me that your favorite color isn't the color that suits you. Maybe scientifically, I don't think that it would be like an obnoxious and far-fetched thing. I think there's color theories, they're like some visual effect evidence that back all of those judgments, but I think favorite color is just a personal thing, and I refuse. I'm being a bit stubborn, I'm being a little bit ridiculous right now if you tell me. I think if I put myself into a very vulnerable position just to find something that looks the best on me, but not something that makes me feel the best, I refuse to do so. Like, come on, come on. Like, I think my favorite color to put on my face is really great. This color, in my eye, is so beautiful. It might not be flattering in a lot of people's eyes, and I don't care. Yeah. So I'm gonna apply like a blush today. This is not something that you would expect for this color scheme, right? But with the warmth of my two other blushes right now, I think this kind of very extremely cool tone would bring out, like I said, would be like a nice contrast to bring out a neutrality. And I'm sorry, I know that my voice has been really weird and my nose is running. It's very gross right now. Yeah, but I've been sick since yesterday. It's not very long ago, but I think I have an inflammation in my throat. Yeah, and I'm still recovering from it, so yeah, my makeup is ruined a little bit, but we're gonna carry on. And see, this is such a wonderful color. Like, it's is so nice. It's so soft and dusty and mucky and subtle, but like I don't like orange or peachy because I feel like they always pack a punch. They always really obvious and out there. I don't know, like maybe I should actually do that color analysis testing thing so that I can actually confirm that, oh, cool tone pink, taupey mauve, they actually look really good on me. Like right now I think it just looks really firing, but I know this very biased, is very subjective to my liking of this color because purple is my favorite color. I want everything to have a bit purple on it, but I have to admit, purple, straight up purple, doesn't look good on me. So I'm leaning to the territory that I feel like is still flattering enough for me, but still self-indulgent enough, self-soothing enough for me to enjoy playing with colors and makeup. And I think it's totally reasonable. You see, with a little bit of warmth, with a little bit of cool tone, with a bit of brown and orange, but then the majority is still pink and purple. It's still pretty nice. Like, yeah, I don't know, like at that moment when I was at the airport and I was just trying to have a good time looking at beautiful makeup, I didn't really want to get into that argument. Like, I don't know, she probably had more experience working with makeup than I do, but I do have more experience working with makeup on my face than she has ever done. Should I take it as a credit, as like a little incentive to be certain, to be a little bit affirmative to myself that this color is actually looks good on me, regardless of what people said? Looks really nice. I think we gonna move to the eye looks right now. I pull out two palettes. Guys, look at the packaging. Can you see the white? The phone case actually that same color. And look at my brush holder. See? It's gonna be a good thumbnail, to be honest. But anyway, we're gonna start the eye look, and I want to feature one specific matte in this Modern Renaissance palette. This is the matte that I love the most in this palette. No, that's the shade, the color that I love the most in this palette, which is this shade right here. It's called Beyond Fresco. It's kind of this, yeah, color in the middle. Is a beautiful matte shade. It's very cool tone. It's gray and like light on the pen right now, but when I apply it to my eyes, I think it turns a bit more pink. It's more pigmented. So I'm gonna start with that. Yep, finding a brush and using that shade. I'm gonna do a simple look today because I have to go to school after this. And yeah, it's been pretty exhausting staying at home at the moment because one, because of sickness. Second reason is that there's a construction just like across the street from me, and this is like a narrow alley, so like it's just a few 100 meters away from my apartment, and I'm living right next to them, and I don't know what to feel about that. I have been hearing us moving equipment all the time, and even when I decided that I'm gonna film a video no matter what, I know right in my gut that there's gonna be a lot of, you know, mechanical background noise in this video, but yeah, we have to move on with our lives. And I don't feel annoyed, too annoyed about the fact that it's very, how can I put that? I don't feel annoyed by the fact that they are doing the work that they are supposed to do, because I'm getting a degree in engineering, and I know I'm gonna work in the same working environment that they are right now. So I feel for them, because this is not an easy job. If you think that all of a job that I would say men do, because like most of the operators, most of the construction workers here are men, like obviously I think only 20 to 30% of this occupation are women. So I don't think this is an easy job. It's never an easy job. I worked at a mine, so I know how hard they have to work. So I feel like, yeah, I'm empathize for what they are doing right now. Like, I know it's really hard, and I'm living in a very nice apartment. So like, it's still far better than the kind of working conditions that they are under right now. But boy oh boy, the sound, like, It's a conundrum. Like, this is like, what's it called? An ethical conundrum, like an ethical paradox. It looks really good. Look at this color. It's so beautiful. I'm just gonna add a little bit more of it because I feel like I want some intensity and depth today. I think I'm done with that palette. Now I'm gonna move to this Sephora color shifter in the shade Unlimited Mauve. Not shade, but the name of the palette is Unlimited Mauve. I think they have like multiple colors in this format of a palette, and yeah, I think this palette is quite affordable, although I have to admit I bought it last year. I think it was around $27, but now the price has gone up to $29. So, inflation alert. It's just everything is so expensive right now. Like right in front of your face, you can actually tell that it's getting more expensive and more expensive, and you don't know how to feel about that. So I'm gonna dip into this shimmering shade. Yes, I'm using a fluffy brush with a shimmering shade, but who cares? Because I want a light dust of shimmers on my lid rather than something that's too metallic and intense. So I just want this. I really like this color. Like, see, it's really beautiful. And yesterday on the train, I've been wanting to film this video for a while, and like I said, because of the construction, so I feel like, oh, it's gonna be too noisy, I won't be able to focus. But then on the bus yesterday, I saw a woman with this toned makeup, like she wearing like eye color in this kind of vibe, and her lips is like a bruised dark reddish purple, and it was so cool. It was so purple and just like so edgy, so nice. So yeah, I'm actually really inspired to be committed to filming a look and to do the video that I've been wanting to do, and try to explain to you my thought on what people think in the realm of color theory knowledge versus what you feel about, not personally, what I want to do with my makeup. And it could be very different. Like I said, if I go to that color analysis appointment right now, they would definitely give me the answer that I wouldn't want to hear. So this is not a big deal. This is not reference versus prerequisite kind of a thing. So what you want, what you need. So do you need to look good, or do you need to feel good about yourself? Do you want to look good, or do you want to feel good about yourself? Like, strike a balance around it, and you know what you want to do. And I personally think this color is very, very flattering on me. Like, something about it. Or maybe I'm in denial. Like, maybe I actually have olive cool undertone and I don't know about it. But gold jewelry looks really good on me. I prefer gold jewelry than silver jewelry. But maybe I'm totally wrong about my undertone, because I don't do undertone analysis enough. Yeah, let me know how you think about it. Like, if you think that we should stick with the undertone theory. But like, for some instances, like when you pick a foundation, you might want to choose something that that's the closest to your actual skin tone and undertone, and that's perfectly reasonable. But other color makeup, like, do you really to be pedantic and be neurotic to stick to this so-called theory? Like, can we have like some wild cards and do something exceptional about it? I don't know. But the last thing we do is gonna apply some lip product. Where's the other one? Yeah. So I got a new Maybelline powder lipstick, like powder matte lipstick. I really love this formula, and I bought the shade Almond Rose. Yep. This specific color is a mauve pink. I think it has a lot of pink in it, and it's a bit pale, but compared to Touch of Spy, this one is more pink. My old Touch of Spy is really brown and purple. It's a bit darker than this one. This one is like quite pale nude. This one is like more of a pale pinky nude. Pale for like my definitions. If you have like lighter skin, like more pale skin, you might not find it very pale. It's a really nice color. Yeah, I really like it. And I'm gonna top it with a gloss. This is the Maybelline Lifted Gloss in the shade 4 Silk. Yeah, I mean, I just want to be extra with a little bit of it, because I know, I mean, I have to acknowledge that I know that this color might be a bit too light for me and too milky, a lot of white base. It's kind of a desaturation that I want, but maybe it's too much. So I want to bring like a bit pigment to my lips with this gloss. Oh, that's a lot of product. I have to distribute it. Yes, and this is the final look. I enjoy this look. Okay, one more look. Yes, I really enjoy this color. And I can understand why people say that this color might not be for me, because sometimes when you walk on the street, you can, you know, sometimes sneak around and peek into people's makeup looks, and you feel like, wow, I wish she had done something differently. Like, we always have that kind of like bias and subjective judgment, but it's just like in the back of our head, we were like, oh, if that were me, I would have done something differently. You know, I would change something a little bit. I don't think that color is really flattering on her. Like, maybe she should change her lip color or something. Like, we always have that kind of reconfigurations of our external world to something that we are familiar with. So I think that's the same thing the girl did. So in her world, warm tone, peachy, orangey, burnt orange works for people of my skin tone and of people who looks like me. See, like, but then when she encounters such a new piece of information that someone who disagrees with her that, okay, I think a different range of color would suit me rather than something that you recommend. So that girl would be instantly like, I mean, in my knowledge, like, she should put it in the way that, like, okay, in my knowledge, in my experience, I think it would be a little bit more acceptable and say that, I think that you should try like more warm-tone colors, because in my experience, in my knowledge, it would be very beautiful on you. But she didn't say that. She stated something that's very rigid, and that becomes offensive to me. No, it's just me rambling and being pretty petty about how I get offended by someone saying that murky rose is not a color for me. And obviously, that's also just my humble opinion about my favorite color. Like, how can you even define why some colors have become your favorite colors? Like, yeah, why do we have certain biases? I think it's such a deep psychological process for you to get to the idea that now you very invest into it. But anyway, I don't think it's a big of a deal. Like, it doesn't matter. I would never see it again or something. Like, I feel offended for what I consider to be my favorite color, but not offended by her saying or her personality. I think she's still very lovely and supportive and helpful beauty advisor at the airport. So nothing with that. So I'm gonna put on my murky rose glasses and call it a day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and once again, I'm cloudy. Once again, I'm sorry for the construction sound. I know that's not what we want, but that's what happens. And I'm sorry for my voice to be a bit funky. I'm cloudy, and hopefully we see each other again. Bye.